I know. I have a face cam now, guys. It's gonna be real different with me having a face cam again. Hopefully it won't lag out. I hope to hell it doesn't. Women and welcome. My name is Yuusha Anime and welcome back to The Letter. Now, last time we managed to make Hannah one of the most hated people in the game. Obviously not intentionally, but we kinda did. Unfortunately, that did happen. But now, we are going to jump back right into this, guys. I have no idea what's going to happen now, but it seems like something may happen very soon. So, guys, Yuusha. Entering the dining hall causes me so much confusion. It is dark. Oh yeah, I need to check this actually. This is the relationship thing. We literally skyrocketed down with Zach. The only person we seem to have done anything was Marianne, and we made Luke hate us quickly. It is dark. For a moment, I thought the electric work is not up to par. But that clearly is not the case, as every other room is bright with artificial light. Finding a light switch is a monumental task, considering the size and my unfamiliarity with the room. To make matters worse, the darkness grants the room a different atmosphere, eerie and frightening. It takes longer than I thought to find a switch. Something that I'll have to be rectified later on. My skin starts to prickle. There is the distinct feeling of being watched. It unsettles me, and only spurs me on in my search. And when I do open the lights, there is a hiss.
I'll turn the lights down, woman!
Oh, okay, hello Luke. There at the end of the hall is my beloved husband with his face in one hand and a glass in the other. Perhaps I can let it go if it's only one glass of wine. Is it that? Wait, that's wine. However, I feel myself... What the hell? Wait, what? Is that wine? Hold on a minute, that's green. Are you drinking some chemical waste there, dude? However, I can feel myself go livid after seeing the toxic green liquid gleam mockingly at me.
Luke, what? Are you drinking absinthe?
Absinthe?
You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke. Are you actively trying to kill yourself?
Oh.
Because if you are, we can just hit you with a bloody car.
Honeybee, buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch, not too strong. Just hair of the dog that bit me. Helps with a hangover, dearest.
Helps with a hangover?
I drank. When?
Yeah, when did you
This
do
morning, love. Don't be mad. I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons. And maybe I had one too much. You don't see
Okay.
me whinging about you leaving me to handle them on my own.
Oh.
I had to attend the photo shoot and interview with Luxury Living. You know that. Let's not make this about me, Luke. This is about you and your drinking problem and...
Oh, I don't know, Hannah, darling.
Uh-oh.
What if my drinking problem, as you like to call it, is linked to you?
Oh, now we're hitting all spots. Okay. Okay. This is gonna get ugly.
If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you. That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that.
Hold on a minute. She actually did do some work, Luke. Don't be funny.
You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey. I was informed the moment your little interview was done.
Oh.
So, what was it then, What were you doing?
Tell the truth or tell a lie. Ooh. Oh wow, this is this is a difficult choice. Ooh. We could say we was with Zachary because we would be telling the truth. But if we say I was tending the gardens, we will probably be caught for lying. So I'm going to say I was with Zachary because that is the truth.
I was talking with Zachary,
Oh
the
shit.
photographer for Luxury Living.
Why did that go down? I told the truth. I have no reason to tell lies. It's not like I'm guilty of anything. But as Luke's expression turns, he makes me feel like I actually am to blame for something. He has a way of making me laid bare with just a look. How many I've chosen all the negative choices with Luke. Why? I'm just making this couple fall apart. I'm not trying to do it, I swear. That really struck me when we first met years ago.
That giant Negro.
Oh!
You were
Oh!
having a secret meeting behind my back and it was with him?
Hold on a minute.
What are you implying?
I'm implying nothing. I'm just worried. You know better than to trust those media types, Buttercup.
What year is this? Because that was, well, quite a strong word to use.
He must have been really friendly to
Damn.
occupy your time like that. But all he's looking for is his next big headline.
Which is true.
He's a photographer for an interior design magazine.
Doesn't matter. You let one little thing slip, one wrong move, and it'll blow up in the telly in the morning. He'll go to his
Oh.
journalist friends to gossip and make a quick quid.
Ah. His eyes were the first thing I noticed about him. They were like nature. The grass and the trees, wonderful and breathtaking. He does have good green eyes, though. No homo. Now, as I look at him, they're nothing but the same shade of green as the bloody damn drink in his hand.
He was a perfect gentleman, Luke.
Uh-oh.
I can't say the same for you as of recent.
We're just making...
Excuse me again? We're talking about you, Hana.
No. I am pretty sure we were talking about you and your drinking problem, Luke, right?
Hangover forgotten during the course of his little spat, the man jumps to his feet and sees. It looks like he's barely stopping himself from throwing the nearest thing he can find.
Oh, it is not a problem. I can stop whenever I want.
Says the alcoholic.
And even if it was, I think you can very well stay out of it, as it only affects my own kidneys or liver or whatever the bloody hell that shite pollutes.
Well, your liver and yeah, I think your kidneys do get affected.
Whatever aftermath that occurs because of your little chit-chat with the Negro affects the both of us, however.
Look, Luke. Nothing will happen. You have to relax. It was just a friendly chat.
Well, now I think I'm getting jealous. Or I would be if it weren't for this damn headache.
Okay.
Maybe you should drink more.
Yeah, you need to clean my desk, god damn it.
Maybe.
Supper isn't spent in silence with nothing... It's spent in silence with nothing but the occasional sound of silverware. A grand feast has been served. Well, grander than usual anyway. Most likely due to Luke's complaints of stress. The platter of native oysters for starters, and troughs of tuba with purple sprouting broccoli, lemon capers, and anchovy sauce for mains. Wow, that's fancy indeed. To finish it off, black tea and golden syrup sponge pudding with custard. God damn. But when our appetites are appeased and the plates are cleared away, Luke stands, kisses me goodnight, and leaves me to stare at my half-empty cup. Lonely in the lull of night I sit, in a house too big and too empty, foreign and unwelcoming. Even when it's warm tone and homely decor, it feels cold. There is no need for tears, however. I know I can get through this, like every other obstacle I have faced before. This is a minor setback in what I hope will be a long and happy life. What is she planning now that I've chosen these choices? Jesus. Have I messed up really badly? I probably have. To remind myself that this place is for Luke and for our future children fills me with a renewed vigour. Besides... No! No! What the hell is that? Besides, it looks like someone's having a cry already. The wailing is far away and muffled. Yet at the same time it shakes me to the very core as I hear it. As if the suffering is just standing right beside me. Hearing it sends a chill down my spine and makes my skin prickle with goosebumps. I don't like this. Jesus. Johnson. Who is that? No. No, 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 no. No! Alright, I'm gonna read this. How do I through... Oh, no, it's not that one. Bump. Alright. During supper, Hannah found Luke drinking absinthe, and this caused an argument. While Hannah was angered by her husband's drinking problem, Luke was suspicious of his wife's activities, having not seen her the whole afternoon despite finishing Luxury Livian's interview early. Then, there was this crying woman. I don't want to play. No, I'm putting the keyboard. Oh, damn it. Sorry about that. I don't like this. Oh, wait. Did I read that? Yeah. Curiosity sinks in as I followed a sorrowful sound into the kitchen and into the wine cellar hatch. No, this is like that dream. This is like her dream.
Hello? Is anybody down there?
Who says hello? Oh. I'm curious and concerned, but there's no way I'm going down into a dark and humid underground. I'm not as enthusiastic as Luke, who considers himself quite the connoisseur. However, I also cannot bring myself to go to bed with this racket going on. If it is one of those household help, the household help, they will surely need some talking. After all, this wouldn't be the first time I've gone and found one of the maids sobbing their eyes out over one thing or another. I can understand how she can mistake it now, but you need to get out of there. As a professional, as our staff are, they are still human. More often than not, it was either your hands or I who calmed them down, who'd helped them figure out to go on about things. Unfortunately, I'm not in high spirits right now, so I'm not as wholly benevolent. So I will. I'm not a brave boy. I'm not a brave boy. It's in the hatch. If it's a maid that works for us, and we call them out, and they reply, we know it's a maid. If we open the hatch, though, it could kill us. So I'm going to call them out. The butterfly effect's gone off. I knocked 3 times. Waiting for any sort of reply yields me no results. I've already touched the floor hatch far too many times than what I'd like. Take a deep breath before reaching out again to whoever's inside. I've learned from experience that people respond better to kindness than threats. Shouting angrily will not help in coaxing them out.
You in the cellar? Do come out. We don't want Luke waking up and finding you in there, do we? That man would go ballistic thinking someone was trying to steal his precious wine.
Probably. Still nothing. Nope.
You can have a good cry. Just not in there, yes? Why don't you come out here and we can have a cuppa and you can tell me all about whatever it is you're bawling about?
If I am standing here forever, I'm starting to think to myself as a fool. I did not want to acknowledge the other feelings I have, especially as the wailing took an eerie turn. Oh man, this ambience. Jesus. Oh yeah, you may notice that I only usually play one earphone. Sometimes when it gets really tense, I wear both. That's what I call the double headphones. So, if that happens, I'm really creeped out. The thought of being played with didn't sit too well with me, and I had to stop myself from getting too hot-headed as I try one more time.
Now you come out of there! That is an order from the lady of the house, do you hear me? Why, I ought to...
I freeze as a hand clamps down on my shoulder. The dread I've been feeling all this time makes itself known as I kneel, unmoving, not even daring to breathe. I can feel my heart pounding against my chest. But the touch is gone, as quickly as it had seized me. It is only Johans. Oh, thank God for that. I see when I look back.
Apologies, madam, for touching you like that. You were not responding to my voice, and you looked about ready to wake the whole mansion up.
I was...
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting rather loud, wasn't I? But that crying woman in there, we must do something about her.
And here's where we look psycho. He grows silent for a moment and just looks concerned. Just the lip. He's like... At least I'd like to interpret it as concern, given how stoic our head butler usually is. Or rather, it must have been concern, as he takes off a glove and presses the back of his hand at my forehead before his worrisome inquiry.
I beg your pardon. What? Crying woman? Are you feeling well, madam?
In the cellar. Can't you hear her?
Madam, Hannah, no one is down there.
What?
No, we're crazy.
The cellar is locked. Only Luke and I have duplicates of the keys.
Ah.
Nobody is down there.
I stare at him in disbelief. But when I listen once more, I hear no crying. Tugging at the hatch for good measure proves his words to be true too. I bet you if I chose the other one, Hannah would have died. She would have died. I don't know that actually. It probably would have happened. I have no clue. I don't know. Tugging at the hatch for yeah. The thing won't budge unless I had a key. Short of using power tools on it.
Perhaps it is time for you to go to bed, madam. You are simply tired and hearing things, a perfectly normal human experience. But if you are still experiencing auditory hallucinations in the morning, you are free to consult with me.
Okay. There is a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach as he helps me up to my feet. What he says makes sense, and who am I to question someone who used to be a doctor? I am just tired, that's it. Long-term move in the interview dealing with Luke, that has all drained me of any proper sense, and we have damaged every relationship,
you're
except
right.
Marianne.
I just need some sleep, that's all.
Of course I'm right.
Damn.
Go on then. Gute Nacht.
Gute Nacht.
Good night, Johannes. Good night, house.
And we're back to dark music. Yay. I'm gonna enjoy this. It's just fatigue. That's what I keep telling myself, although I can't ignore the strange feeling in my gut. Either there is something wrong with this house, or there is something wrong with my head. Dudes. Sleep will be elusive tonight. We're on October the 28th. Wow. I wonder if we can... What's the furthest we appear to go, anyway, is to November 1st. And we have not gone to any of these days yet. So I'm curious now. What's going to happen? Luke is already gone by the time I rise. There isn't a single hide nor hair of him to be found, and trying to call him on his mobile is a bust, as it only goes straight to his voicemail. That's twice in a row he's gone on me. And for him to disappear today, of all days, is every bit upsetting because of what's to come. I don't know what to think at the second. I don't know. The morning is once again filled with a whirlwind of activity. Fortunately, I am much more refreshed as I took a breath from my responsibilities. I haven't the faintest clue where Luke was yesterday. Today is going to be a busy day, although unlike Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now, absent once again from his duties. Hopefully he'll be back in time for the party. This is our house after all. A grand housewarming party for the wonderful Wright mansion. Every person of importance from Luxbourne is invited, and there will be a few guests flying in as well. Of course, there'll be some people from the media along with friends and acquaintances who are made no less important regardless of their status in society. Mary Ann and I discussed business and last minute touches to the house before finalising everything. Yeah, this is the only good relationship we got now is with Mary Ann. Yay! We got someone who still likes Hannah. Who still likes her anyway. Not there is much change from our original plans. Bar any huge additions to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Good job.
Well, I can't take all of the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the Wright mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Luke and I had a small tiff about making the second bedroom into a child's playroom, which I insisted is completely practical. In the end, he has acquiesced, I guess. I didn't give him any choice in the matter. I even bought this wonderful wooden crib from the antique store yesterday, including some toys. Just in case anyone brings their baby, of course. Besides, we have little need for actual guest rooms. We hardly have guests who spend the night. Okay. If we absolutely have to, we often choose to foot the bill for their visit on one of our hotels instead. Anyways, always at Luke's own insistence. And on the off chance that we actually let someone stay, the bedroom in the opposite wing is still up to the task.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned.
I'm curious.
I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
Wow. No, I did not agree to him having a helipad.
All right, then. Well, do we have any other concerns? Anything we need to put on our agenda before the party commences?
I don't
No,
know.
I don't think so.
No, we don't. Okay.
Not unless Luke has anything else to say.
Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his requests right away, considering the scope of his usual ones.
Oh, it's my brother shouting about. Is he around? Oh, yeah. Around? No. Where is he? Who knows where? I don't.
No, he's not around.
She didn't have to point out the obvious now, did she? After 7 long years, I'd already gotten used to him. I should be by now. Still not, apparently.
But don't you have a party?
I want nothing more than to complain, to whinge about how unfair this is. However, airing out one's dirty laundry is simply taboo among high society. Really? Is that really taboo? Oh! What's wrong with air drying clothes? It saves money, at least. To do so will make you a ripe target for the next dinner party chit-chat. Vultures, the lot of them, really. Ah, okay, for gossip. Got you. I got you. Or most of them, at least. There are always good ones like Rochelle Lee. But put your trust in the wrong person and you'll find yourself eagerly picked apart.
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting. He's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
Perhaps I'm being a bit too rash. A bit too hot-headed in divulging details. But I thought myself clever with the plan to dress it up as gossip. Marianne's raised brow makes me unsure whether she is interested or not. Although that does make things better if she has no interest and therefore has no hidden intent to utilise whatever I might say to her.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it?
A rough patch.
A rough patch.
Yeah.
His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband.
Aw.
But it's never enough for her.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Is he actually using this as an excuse for Hannah? I don't...
Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...
I know she wants to keep things professional. She said she'd keep it classified between clients. And I think it'll be nice to hear her personal opinion. Just saying I don't know, it's like, do you want me to answer the question or not? It just seems a bit rude after just saying that. So be honest
Be
with me.
honest with me, Marianne. I don't need someone to sugarcoat
Oh, I
it.
got an achievement for that real talk. Hello. What did I just get? Yes, that was the good choice. Yeah.
I'm not some fragile thing that I'm just going to break down at the slightest thing.
She hesitates, taking a sip of her coffee while I stare into my own cup of tea. The silence stretches on, and I almost believe that she will never answer my question. I suppose that I shouldn't blame her, putting her in a tight spot like this. Yeah, she usually keeps things professional, so this is probably a little new to her, I guess. Her hesitation is understandable, though I loathe to admit she simply wants this whole thing to stay professional. Yeah, that was what I was saying. But then she speaks.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
Oh, it's my turn to hesitate now. That was what I was thinking. I really didn't expect such a straightforward question. And to get to the heart of the matter, I suppose I'm not as clever as I'd like to think. Was it really that bad that an outsider can see our little marital troubles? Surely we aren't that obvious, are we? Oh. I'm gonna stay quiet on that one. Yeah. We put up the act of the perfect couple for years, although it hadn't always been an act. Marianne is just more keen than the average person, of course. It is a necessity of her career, and she's been working so closely with us. Yes, that's it.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But, if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else.
Yeah. Exactly.
Someone who won't even give him the time of the day. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone.
Exactly
That's
that.
just my 2 pence worth, of course.
So you're saying they should divorce?
Nothing as drastic as that.
No.
If they're afraid that it might lead to just that, then maybe that is what's meant to happen in the first place. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
Yeah, we shouldn't let it control
But
it.
it's just a short hiatus is all.
You mean a break?
Or, couples therapy?
Oh.
I'm really not the best person to ask about relationships. So grain of salt and all that.
She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but a smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. There is a calm despite the nature of what had just been discussed. To say that her words make me start to think is an understatement. To say I'm not considering her advice is a lie. And to say that this might be this might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Ooh. Others have had shorter marriages, yes, but plenty have celebrated long and happy ones as well. My own parents celebrated their choral anniversary before they passed away. Wow. Choral anniversary. How many years is that? How many years is a choral anniversary? I don't think I know. I think it's like 7 years? Isn't choral years like 20 years? I'm not sure. 7 years isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. But it isn't a whole lot of time to see what and where our relationship can bring us. And at the same time, 7 years. Well, it hasn't been entirely made up of unhappy years, has it? It won't last forever. It's not supposed to anyway. I just dread the thought that it might last for a very long time. I dread the thought that these small spats, these little disagreements will turn into an all-out resentment. The idea that we will grow to hate each other with every fibre of our being scares me. I can even pinpoint the exact moment when our blissful union turned sour. Wow, we update the story from there. When did he start to seek other women, lacking any ulterior motives? When did we start to cooperate only to suit our materialistic greed and attention-seeking? Hold on 1 second. Oh, it's an undercover police car. Oh dear. Oh dear. Undercover police. Somebody's in trouble. Money and success. Fame and glamour. Are those the only reasons we still stay together? There is a call before Marianne clears her throat. I must have been quiet for so long, and I move to apologise when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure of how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit down or not.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
Okay.
You won't be attending the party.
You won't be? Aw.
Oh, you really must, Marianne.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but
Bites
I
and a
can't be
drink.
around for the entirety
Lovely.
of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you.
Oh,
You
my.
need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
Oh, yeah, that was right, yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
So, if I can be excused?
Certainly.
Go ahead.
You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
That does happen, and that's infuriating. I have actually seen that happen. Oh, that's a nice drawing of Marianne. Hannah and Marianne were seen discussing the mansion's finishing touches before the housewarming party. On the whim, Hannah asked for Marianne's opinion about a certain couple having marital problems. It leaves the former with something to think about, after the latter excused herself from attending the party. Ooh, that's interesting though, and I'm starting to see the character development really come into this. Yang, you put a lot of work into this game, alright? The scene outside the parlour is great. It's a great organised mess. Aside from our own household help, we hired the service of the temp agency, which provides staff for Right Enterprise in the hospitality sector. Even our very skilled staff cannot undertake a party of this size on their own. Waiters, busy boys, hostesses, and their staff captains move about in droves, carrying crockery and serveware good for several dozen people, and then some. So wait, how many people are coming? How many are we having at this party? I know it's a housewarming with many rich faces, but how many? Chefs and bartenders tail after Johans, looking like scared little children as he escorts them through the kitchen and into the wine cellar. To pursue the stocks, to select what can be served at the party and what can be used for cooking.
Schnell! We have a lot to do.
Schnell! Schnell! I know what that means, okay.
Snails are for the dishes.
Oh, we haven't snails. Ew. I don't know how, but would any of you guys eat snails if they were cooked? I probably wouldn't. I would not eat snails. I'm sorry, I would not eat snails because if you take off the shell, it's basically a slug, and I hate slugs. I hate slugs so much. I hate them. A string quartet readies up to play for the evening, tuning their instruments as they fill the air with idle chatter. Floral decor where thousands fill vases, wreaths and baskets, while petals are scattered along the driveway up front. Ooh, that's pretty. Is that an ice sculpture as well? An ice sculpture, yeah it is, of a ranger is brought in carefully by a pair. It is followed by a simple cake. Just a 5-tier white chiffon, one with white chocolate mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting of edible gold leaf. That cake is probably worth a fortune. God damn. There is such a thing as edible gold. That does exist. Don't believe me, you can actually search for it yourself. It's expensive. But despite the fact that I told Marianne how I will attend all of this, I find myself unable to focus or care for any of it. I still have a discussion running in mind, and looking at all of this, I only see Luke everywhere. These are all the grand things that Luke wanted to have for the party. I had wanted a small, elegant and simple gathering with only a select few invited, namely the people who I would actually trust to enter my home. I didn't want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how used I am to catering them.
At least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
He's not even here? That's odd. The entire thing screamed, Luke, right! And I can't help but add another question to my growing list of queries. When did I lose myself? It's always about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? Oh, I used to be my own woman who made her own name, her own character. No, her own career, sorry, and her own decisions. Not character, because that's fourth wall breaking. Sure, I was already by the social butterfly that I am still today. That I still am today. But it wasn't all empty, shallow gossip and sitting pretty. I was also lauded for my knowledge and talent. Finance manager wasn't just handed to me, just because my father owned a company. I had insisted that I start at the bottom, so I can work my way to the top and prove myself. No yawning. There we go. And I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money and accounts, analysing the competition and market trends. There was the calculation of financial risk cost reduction opportunities, auditor liaison, and public relations, supervision of staff, and, well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities. Admittedly, I was already quite the attention seeker even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. So is she a daddy's girl or a mummy's girl? Why did I... Why am I thinking of that now? Failing that, I turned to others. Looked for praise from anyone who would give it, however fleeting it all was. And Luke, oh Luke, the way he looked at me, the way he watched me and took a genuine interest. He had me disgustingly obsessed since day one, hasn't he? He saw me for Hannah Evans with both my faults and my achievements. The man didn't treat me like some damsel in distress. Ah, no yawning. I will not yawn. I'm thirsty. Or some prize to be won. I remember the nights before we were married, where we talked about everything and anything. From the big things like business, society and philosophy to little things such as what we had for breakfast or whether we liked cats or dogs more. We both prefer dogs. I prefer dogs too. Nowadays, I'm just Luke Wright's wife. Duds. It's mostly my fault, isn't it? They told me that husbands preferred wives who are docile and subordinate. A woman who will always be there for him, yet would never outshine him in all aspects except beauty. A wife needs to be at home and attend to his needs, to have children and to take care of them in his absence. They said I have no business working anymore after I was married. Interesting. I can blame society, but I listened. Before I can fall further into this introspective pit of self-loathing, someone calls my attention.
The guests have arrived, madam.
Oh.
And Luke?
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
What is he even doing? How can he
Late
be?
for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him.
He probably
Open
might.
the doors then. We mustn't tarry.
Okay. And we are now hosting a party in the afternoon. I thought it would have been at night. Okay. Cars line up in the driveway, peppering the front of the mansion with vehicles of every kind. Grand Tours, supercars, even the odd high-end muscle car or two. Convertibles, grand saloons, and other luxury cars can be seen being parked by valets. A handful of cabs drive off, possibly for those who thought it was too troublesome to bring their own cars. That makes sense. There are at least 2 different media vans as well. Oh my god. They're all here for what may be considered the biggest event of the year for Luxpawn. So far. I'm sorry, I didn't sleep well last night. I really didn't sleep well. Who knows what we'll plan for the winter holidays?
Welcome, welcome everyone. Please make yourselves at home.
Some of the guests idle, enjoying the warm, if not strange sunshine we are experiencing before gloomy skies inevitably return. Sounds like Britain. They greet acquaintances and friends with warm smiles, others less so. From where I stand, I can see the hierarchy of power, the ties that bind these individuals here, whether through convenience or necessity. However, there are also few people who are not here for further cement their current place in high society. Why am I yawning? Why am I doing this? God damn it. Ash. Hello. Just that young man with his oriental air, ignorant of the looks he received from women and men alike.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Yeah? Oh, Rose is here as well. Oh, that rose-haired woman talking on her phone. While she looks unsure of why she is here exactly.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, I might need to get some tissue. Blow my nose. Bloody hell. I see Zachary, the photographer, as well. Oh, no. He talks to a few of the other media crew with the air of familiarity.
I was just here a few days ago, yeah. And the inside is huge, but the staff are pretty helpful if you get lost.
Well, that's handy. I had invited Father Norman too. Father Norman? It's the least I could do after he blessed the mansion on my request, aside from my small donation to the church, of course. Okay. Apart from a small donation. Got it. But the poor man had taken ill and went through a nervous breakdown of some sort the other day. Uh-oh. He did. And then there are people like the Chief Inspector. That's why Ash is here then. People who I can never be too sure about. People who stand on the border between being suspicious and being trustworthy.
Thank you for the invite, Anna. Husband still missing, I see.
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again.
She told me she'll just be in the gardens. Bet she's lying and that she's somewhere around mingling, gossiping with the other ladies. No offense, but that seems to be all you ladies do at these parties.
Women do like to gossip though, that is true. So it's not entirely wrong, but...
And aren't you gossiping right now?
yeah.
Yes, well, what about Luke?
What, we're going to
Should we
gossip
file
about?
a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around somewhere.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing. Don't tell me, let me guess. He's finally drunken himself to death and not wanting a scandal, you've hidden his body.
That would be
I
enjoyable.
was wanting to give this housewarming gift to him personally, too.
What's the housewarming?
It's a plate that holds a wine glass so he can stop killing himself with liquid lunches. Looks like it's too late for that.
Nothing like that.
That's funny,
Besides, this is a hardly polite conversation.
It's not
Oh,
really.
relax. I'm just trying to be cheeky to lighten the mood. It's not like I want Luke dead.
The smile. Just, I don't want Luke dead.
The man doesn't serve dodgy plonk like the others when I visit, and he pays his respects well enough. I could use a glass of wine or 3, actually. Shell's been in a horrid mood. Threw her stilettos at me the other day and almost took an eye out. Not sure if this is how it usually goes, but I blame the pregnancy.
Oh?
I wouldn't know, would I?
Still no plans for a baby? I guess that's for the best. If it's this bad now, I can't even imagine how bad it'll be when that little baby bump becomes huge.
Oh my. Have I mentioned how I don't trust him no matter how hard I try to do so? At least he brought a gift, I
Why
suppose.
don't you just go inside and have some wine, Lee?
Think I will, thanks.
Greetings such as these carry on as guests continue to trickle in. I'm curious to how is Zach gonna react to seeing Hannah along with Ash and why do I forget people's names? Becca. Whether we have short conversations or merely shake hands and nod heads, I make sure to attend and welcome each of them. As the first hour passes by, the rest of the stragglers and I adjourn to the ballroom. Any latecomers will have the attention of the porter instead. I have other duties to attend now. And now, we shall enjoy the ball. I can't play it for shit. What am I doing? Hosting parties is always the same old song and dance, no matter how big or small it is. You make sure your guests are well fed, have good company, and have them generally enjoy themselves. So when my opening remarks are done, when the band has started to play and the guests have started eating, I find myself wandering around aimlessly unless I am pulled aside. For a while I stay with a small group and entertain them before excusing myself. And when they're not anymore watching this... Grammar. And when they're not watching me anymore, I end up watching them. Come on. When they don't listen, I do. A local banker is having trouble with his daughter. He wishes to marry her off, but she wants nothing more but to make music. One of our hotel managers worry about the stolen belongings of one of his patrons, a failing insecurity which should be brought up to higher authority soon. Our mayor, well, his cat died. No, Mr. Middens! And then there is that rose-haired woman once again. It is hard not to notice her with her distinctive looks. She also lacks the grace that the other ladies have, though that does not make her any less beautiful. Her stance and the air she exudes instead are strong, and they make her stand out despite her casual attire. Many men have already given her their attention, though each invitation to dance has been turned down. Interesting. I approached intrigued, although it is no great mystery what occupies her own attention with the glances she keeps sending towards the boy with the oriental hair. Zach? She remains unaware though, even as I stand beside her, pretending that I am there for a drink.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Okay. Well, we started
You're
off nice.
fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenu, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
Oh, Ash. Oh my. She's eyeing up Ash. Wait a minute. Does she actually have a fancy for Ash? The boy comes over, but I do nothing to speak any softer. He merely passes by. Oh, bye then, Ash. And is a wonder he doesn't hear what I say.
Who, Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time.
Oh.
I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Is he your boyfriend then? Because that
Come
would
on.
explain those rejections.
Wow, we sound rude. In all my life, I don't know whether she's been rude or not. Is that rude? I don't know. I don't know if that's rude. Oh my. In all my life, I have never seen a face grow red so fast. The shade of her hair did not help as well. This is the most pink I've ever seen a person. Really?
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed.
Wow.
Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
Liar!
That's right. You've been staring.
Quite
heatedly,
heatedly.
in fact.
Oh my.
Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
It's more the latter currently.
Oh.
Just don't go murdering him on my property. I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body there.
Well, that is preferable anyway. I waver as I feel the burning of someone's stares. It is chilling, and though I am used to enjoying the gaze of others, this one makes the hairs on my back and my neck stand up. Oh, hi! There's the thumbnail. Why are you here? It is chilling. It is chilling, and though I am used to enjoying the gaze of others, this one makes the hairs on my back, on the back of my neck, stand up. My attention is pulled from the girl, and I see a woman staring. Dark-haired and dirty, she looks more like a beggar than a guest, and I have half the mind to call the security at her when her mouth breaks into a grin. Nope, 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 nope. All I hear is her laughing. Taunting. Her eyes are green, aren't they? Are they green, or am I just being silly? I can't tell if it's from rot or if they're actually green. It still makes my blood run cold. She looks at me like I'm nothing but a pig to slaughter for her amusement. It makes my hand shake and I nearly drop my drink. But then in a blink, she's gone and the buzz of the party returns. Okay, don't worry everyone, we're safe, nothing's coming to kill us. I just hallucinated and saw a bloody woman who was giving me the stare of death. But then in a blink of an eye, she's gone and the buzz of the party returns.
I'll keep that in mind, but are you alright?
Yes,
yeah.
sorry. I just thought I saw something strange. It must be the trick of the light.
Yeah, we just saw a whole person just by a flicker of the lights.
Anyway,
yeah, totally.
on a right, as you must already know.
Rebecca Gales.
Gales, Gales, Gales.
The name is familiar. Like a fond memory. Hold on. I recall a kind lady, a private tutor who treated me... These two know each other? Why? Is that why their relationship is so good? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I recall a kind lady, a private tutor who treated me like her own daughter when I was young. She'd even bring me food when there was no need to do so. Usually stovies, which I honestly hadn't been too keen about. Though I ate them nonetheless because she brought them for me.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way. But yeah, that's me. Little Becky. We met once before.
Yes, oh, I remember you! You were the cutest little thing with glasses! And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A.
Oh my. I think I'm gonna break many relationships in this game with what I've done in the beginning.
What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele, Albert, Alexander, Andrew?
Ashton. The more I list off names, the more red and the more quiet Becky gets. She does look a bit miserable as her body language shows discomfort and stillness. Perhaps I've triggered a horrid childhood memory. Surely I hadn't been mean when she visited with her mother. I don't quite remember all of it. Okay.
Ashton! Ash!
Yep.
What man is that boy? The same one? Oh, goodness me, after all these years! I can see why, though. He's quite dashing.
You don't really need to announce it to everyone within earshot, you know? Keep it down.
Open your eyes. Just don't mind the massive people around. Oh, she likes this person. Oh dear.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
And a tad bit sad.
So, this is a nice party, Miss Wright.
Please, Anna's fine.
Totally alright.
We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky. Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
Oh no.
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
I think that might... Choose your words more carefully.
Oh?
dear.
And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
Yeah.
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales. And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best. If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it. But what do I know?
There is a grimace, although she starts to relax around my presence. How long has it been since we met as children? Certainly a long time. She was tiny back then, if I recall correctly.
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about. But have you told him how you feel? And it's been what? 20 years?
20 years. 20.
17, actually.
7. That's a long
But
time.
no, not yet. He can be a bit dense. I was hoping that maybe he'd notice on his own and...
Well, that won't do. What if you two become husband and wife? He's not to be dense when he's sworn himself to another person. But you might just as well consider leaving before the day's even begun.
If that happens, I'll have to give him a good ear bashing, won't I?
Well-
Whoever anyone ends up with, it's not going to be a perfect relationship anyway.
There's no such thing as perfect, so that's
There's
true.
going to be things you'll love and things you'll hate about the other person. We're just humans. It's funny. Here I am, trying to give you advice when you did the very same thing back then. I remember you giving me a makeover when we were still kids. And you were the first I told anyone about my... crush.
Oh, wow. I do remember now that she mentions it. Did I give her that yellow summer dress, or the pink blouse and petticoat? She must have kept some of what I said in mind. It feels ridiculous remembering all of that years later, talking about boys and how they go crazy for pretty girls, as if some gospel every woman should adhere to. It was so easy to say such things then, with me not knowing any better. Hold on, let me have a look at these few people here. So, I wonder where Johans is. I actually wonder where Johans is at the second, because he's supposed to be adhering to the guests, right? Like, assisting them, if any, or helping out the staff. I wonder what he's doing. Perhaps I did say something good at the time, enough to take it to heart. But all that didn't matter in the moments as I mull over what she's just said in my head. What Becky told me is very different from what Marianne told me. There is no time to ponder over that, however, as a hush descends upon the once lively crowd. Oh. Luke, is that you? The music of strings and the chatter slows to a grinding halt as the doors from the foyer opens. The last of the later comers should have arrived moments ago, and anyone else this late would simply be too embarrassed to show their face. So this can only be one person, or rather one man. There's only one man who is audacious enough to arrive at his own party so late.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party?
God damn it, Luke.
I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
Unlike I, who was raised in the spotlight and simply grew used to its presence, he sought it out every chance he could, even when there was no spotlight that shone. Oh wow, that's quite narcissistic. And I'll never put it against him when he smiles like that. He did so quite brilliantly under the scrutiny where he channels his showmanship. You can tell by the way people's eyes light up as he speaks. Do you know what? Now that I think about it, when Luke called Zachary the word. I'm wondering what type of circumstances, what views his parents have. Because if the views that he has is like that, it can be quite it's quite well, looks like his parents aren't fond of black people by the scenes of it. I don't know. It's just from a glance, because it's never really, when you look at a person and you see their beliefs, you usually look to the parents, because usually the parents have quite a bit of influence over the child, if any. How they listen, enraptured, even if all he's doing is a simple greeting. A little wave of his hands here, a little smile there, and a bit of swagger. I always tell him that if he is not to be a businessman, he'll do well as an entertainer. I love that. I love this side of him, especially when he looks at me and he beckons me over to humbly share his place. Not a single second is wasted as I excuse myself from Becky's side and make my way to Luke's.
Welcome, one and all, to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses, as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
Oh, we got a nice round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. There was a round of applause, cheers, and even some hoots. Guests approached us left and right to shake Luke's hand and greet him personally, praises on their lips. It is because of this that I do not see her. I do not see her until she is dangerously close with fury in her eyes, and she's already spitting venom. Who are you? Who is this? This is a hell of a picture. Hello. Your Highness restrains her, taking care not to unnecessarily harm the pregnant woman. She's... Oh. 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 Oh dear. The Rye Mansion officially opened the doors with a grand housewarming feast. Zachary Steele, Ashton Frey, and Rebecca Gales were seen attending. However, what was supposed to be a day of merriment turned sour when Rochelle Lee, the Chief Inspector's wife, accused Luke Wright of fathering her unborn baby. Oh my! Your Highness restrains her, yeah, but that has little to deter her rage, and the man has no choice but to let her go, lest an unborn child is hurt. Although it might be too late for that, as I see an empty glass wine in her hand. How much has she imbibed in?
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle?
Imbibed in.
Perhaps you need to sit down and...
No! Shut it, you monster! I ain't
Monster.
talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here! You bloody bastard, standing there with your smarmy smile!
She interrupts me, jabbing her finger in my direction before she rounds on Luke. Even though whispers and murmurs break out among the guests, all I can focus on is the heat of the moment. Obviously intoxicated, judging by the smell of alcohol in her breath. I'm not ticked off about this little display of hers, at least not yet. But I am absolutely pissed by the fact that she had endangered her own baby by drinking. Yes, I am pretty pissed by her doing that as well. There is a considerable amount of restraint and grace that I must exercise while I wait for her tantrum to subside. I keep a patient if tight smile on my face. Luke's expression, on the other hand, is indecipherable.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
I did.
And I told you with great emphasis not to. Now we have a drunk, hormonal, pregnant woman causing a stir.
That's... Oh, this is juicy.
What is even going on?
I'm just about to ask that exact same thing.
I don't know. But Rochelle, do calm down before you hurt yourself. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Where is that husband of yours? Lee! Collect your wife right now!
Don't you fucking talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible, you ass! You told me that I should wait for you in the gardens!
Oh, and Officer Lee actually said that as
Excuse
well.
What is this nonsense you're going on about?
Crazy talk. That's all it is. Just completely and utterly
How?
mad. Has anyone seen the Chief Inspector?
He's trying to have her removed
I
before.
am pregnant with your little bastard. You promised me you'll take responsibility. God damn it, Luke. I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me.
Oh, wow. What? What?
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman! Security! Yo, Hans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you do not do this to me. I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours.
Oh.
Does she look like she wants a baby? Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
Oh my, how would I get still dancing? I'm gonna end this part here. Holy God. I'm gonna end this on a high note. I don't know how to feel about this. Holy God. That I had a feeling, and it was correct. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. There's nothing more we can do though, guys. So I have to end this here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want any more from me. And I shall see you in the next video. Solid shot, guys. I will indeed see you next time. Oh my God, this is gonna be a rough ride.